rushing. They're not doing too much on the ground. They've actually gotten pretty close to minus yards. Minus 1 yard rushing, I think, is what we're officially showing them. Folks with 3 yards and Zimmerman with a -4. So the pass and field position really hurting the Blazers right now.
Hand the ball off to Folks. He has another first down as he's going to be driven out of bounds. One thing, if we'll take a look at the sheet from Wally here in a second. Almost all of the third down plays that Blue Valley has had have been 2-3 yards. It's been really short yardage.
Yeah, that's right, Ryan. And right now they are just methodically going down the field, chewing up clock, playing defense with their offense, and at the same time being very productive in the 4 downs that they have to make 10 yards with. They're not exploding by any stretch, with the exception of the 1 4th down, 30-yard touchdown pass.
Hand the ball off to Folks again, and he carries 4 Blazers with him as he's driven out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. He gets another 3-4 yards on first down.
Well, that's 2 plays now that Folks has been somewhat successful. The last play, I think it was his first somewhat significant yardage where he gained 4 yards on the last play. That gain there gave him 3. So even though they keep pounding him up in there, and I know that's Coach Diener's style too, establish that run.
And the ball off to Folks again, and he's going to run into the front line, and he's going to get well, they're going to give him a yard.
Well, you can almost see the wheels turning on that Blue Valley sideline, and we've got 4 downs to get 10 yards, fellas, and Folks is going to get 2 of the 4 carries, or 2 of the 4 plays, and we're going to go between the tackles just to keep that Blazer defense on us. Then we'll take our chances with Zimmerman on the last 2 plays.
Zimmerman looks right, looks left, being chased by McDermott. He's going to keep it himself. He gets across the 20-yard line, down to the 15. Another Tiger first down.
Well, Ryan, you called it a minute ago. You got Zimmerman out there in a minute. We were really somewhat critical of him when he took the loss for 10 yards down, because it didn't look like he had any mobility when Winkler brought him down on the blitz. But that particular time, Kyle got out to the outside, had that ball with one hand. He was kind of pump faking around, but you could see when he turned it on, he has some wheels, and he really put a nice move. I believe that was on Winkler, an ankle breaker, as he went by for the first down.
Folks again meets head up at the line of scrimmage as he's going to be stopped. No yards on the play. Make it 2nd and 10. Clock at 10:30 to go in the first half.
Well, you can see why Mr. Folks is one of the leading ball carriers in the EKL. He's going to get his carries.
He's starting to limp a little bit on that right ankle.
Well,
he was out for a game and a half against the Blue Valley Northwest.
And that's exactly right. But Justin came in, he missed a game and a half, and he still has 158 attempts on the year.
Pass out in the flat to Lincolnmeyer. He gets up to the 10-yard line, a gain of 5 yards, make it 3rd and 5.
Well, we thought Skaggs would be the go-to guy. That time they were just a stand-up. They ran twins out to the right side and ran that little screen where the first wideout blocks the first defender. The second receiver gets the catch 2 or 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage and then tries to make a run off of that lead block by the wideout. And that time Rickenmeyer did a nice job to pick up about 5, bringing up 3rd and about 6.
At the Blazer 10-yard line, twins to the far side. Zimmerman looking that side. He's going to keep it himself. Gets by Jared McDermott, gets across the 5, leads up ahead. Man. He's going to have enough for a first down. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 2-yard line.
That's a heck of a play by Kyle Zimmerman right there. And Ryan, you called it. Folks is bringing himself out. He has messed up that right ankle.
Yeah, he may be done the way he's limping on it. Now he's skipping on it.
Well, it certainly isn't completely recovered. Great play by Zimmerman though on that last play, as he faked and was buying time, and they finally got the defense to commit enough to the receivers and to spread out enough. He had one man to beat. That was Jared McDermott, about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and he easily deked Jared to get down close to the goal line. Boy, what a tough predicament for the Blazers right now.
Matt Floyd in the backfield with Zimmerman now in place of Folks. Zimmerman going to keep it himself, leans up ahead, reaches in, He's going to be in for a touchdown. Tigers take a quick 13-0 lead.
Well, this is shades of East St. Louis all over again here, Ryan. East St. Louis in the first ball game of the year when this young Blazer squad traveled down to the Mid-City Classic, and at that time, if you remember, we were thinking this is not good, as we were fearful that was going to be a blowout game, and Coach Diener pulled that group together, led by Jared Hobby's leadership.
As this extra point is barely good. So 8:52 to go in the first half. Tigers lead by a score of 14-0. We'll be back with a kickoff. You're listening to the Blazer Broadcast Network on 810 Varsity Sports.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Gardner Bank, an approved SBA Express lender. Call Jim, Rick, or Merle to find out if Gardner Bank can help your business finances. 856-7199.
Integrity Communications. Recycling your cell phones and electronics is a great idea. Did you know Integrity also accepts things like iPhones, iPods, iPads, tablets, notebooks, laptops, desktops, flat screen monitors, MP3 players, GPS devices, and ink and toner cartridges. Integrity Communications, 408 East Main in Gardner.
Pizza Hut. Don't forget about their lunch buffet, 619 East Main in Gardner.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Brian Ragland, Dave Webb, Dustin Duck Martin down on the sideline. Wally and Darren taking stats. Blue Valley has exactly what they want. They've got the 13 points, maximum points right now against the Blazers. Blazers need to get something going here to get themselves back in the game, as Pittsburgh leads 7-0 at the last check against St. Thomas. Tim Seymour with the kickoff return tries to get something going. He's going to be brought down at the 5-yard line.
That kick was into the wind, really hung up in the wind. Timmy called it in on about the 5, moved to the right, and he didn't go 5 steps, and Blue Valley was all over him. What a defensive kick coverage there. And Ryan, this is a very difficult situation for the Blazers because they haven't been able to establish the run, but do you run the risk of throwing the ball and doing another 3 and out with and chewing up barely any clock and giving the Blue Valley Tigers the ball back deep in your own territory?
Seymour on the jet motion. They fake the handoff, give it to Wrench, and Wrench isn't going to get it very far. And the one thing we haven't seen, they haven't gotten Wrench to the outside yet.
Well, one thing we haven't
got to be happening pretty soon.
I think one thing we haven't seen is we haven't seen that up front blocking like we've been seeing. And right now, you've got to give a lot of credit to that defensive front of Blue Valley. They are just whipping the Blazers up front. You're not seeing running lanes, and you're seeing people get into the legs of Trayvon Wrench early and often back there, and it's usually on their side of the line. It's usually on the Blazer side of the line of scrimmage, so it's hard to tell without watching video, but 4-man front for that Blazer, or that Blue Valley Tiger defensive front.
We're going to have a whistle before the play starts, and this may be against Blue Valley again.
Are they lining up offside?
They must be.
Well, they've got him offside again. What another big break. We've heard Coach Diener talk about Jared Hobby's cadence and how he really likes it, and it's good for his team, and it's rough for the defensive players because they seem to cannot get in a rhythm with Jared's count, and that's 2 offside penalties now against the defense for this Tigers.
Hobby out of shotgun, a low snap, but he keeps it himself. Gets across the 10. Gets a hard 2 yards. It's going to be 3rd and a long 3 for the Blazers.
Well, I hate to reference negative situations or scenarios, Ryan, but this looks an awful lot like the defensive front that Bishop Miege threw at the Blazers in Week 3. And if you'll remember that week, Trayvon went off. He had 300 yards the prior week and had 63 the next week against Bishop Miege and shut the Blazers out on that particular night.
Tigers come out with 8 men in the box. They give it to Wrench. He bounces it to the outside. He gets around the corner. He's at the 30. Cuts it back to the inside. He's got a blocker ahead. Oh, man. Gets down at the 45-yard line of the Tigers. He had 1 man to beat. Just when you think he was down.
I don't know how he got out of there. It looked like they were playing rugby over there in the right corner of the end zone. They had about 22 guys over there all in a big pile, and here comes Trey bebopping around the sideline, right down the Blazers sideline, and it was a great tackle. They must have him out of bounds because he was farther than that, wasn't he?
I thought he was.
But anyway, that's a heck of a run. Almost 50 yards by Trey. 43 yards.
So 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line of the Tigers. Hobby looking for Drake, and Drake just barely missed it, a pass he should have had. A nice touch by Hobby.
Well, they ran wide out to the left side. They ran wide out to the right side. They had Drake Sparks in the slot on the right side. And Jared Hobby does a little roll out far to the right, and then Drake Sparks runs a pattern away from the formation and drags the back. So they do a throwback over the top and just over the outstretched fingers of Drake Spark, or that would have been another big play for the Blazers.
Another update from Pittsburgh. Score tied at 7 with 10:40 to go in the second quarter down in Pittsburgh and St. Thomas. Wrench with the ball, cuts it inside across the 45, spins around. They're going to mark him down at the 41.
Well, that was the first time we've seen a little bit of a lane there. That was a nice hole opened up over here on the left side. They line Trayvon up to the right side as offset half. They line Hobby in the shotgun, and Hobby takes the snap, just hands off to Trey, going right under his belly to the left side with a lead blocker. And boy, Trey, you could see that he liked the hole there, because when he saw it, he really kicked in the afterburner for a nice gain. Brings up 3rd and about 5.
6:15 to go in the first half. Tigers up 14-0. Fake the handoff on the jet.
Wide open.
Hobby looking downfield, overthrows Getzman.
Boy, he missed his tight end.
He missed Nord that was wide open about the 30-yard line.
The tight end ran a little 7-yard, and then he went to the outside like he was running a corner route. The wideout was Getzman, and he just ran a post. Jared locked on to the post, and he had him beat to the inside, but it was a much easier pass to a wide open Connor was out there, and there wasn't anybody within 10-15 yards of him.
So 4th and 4. Hobby looking on the short pass. It should be a flag, and we're going to have pass interference.
Yeah.
Pass intended for number 8, Jermaine Lang. And I didn't get who it was on the hit. I think that might have been
44.
No, I think that might have been 18. Or that'd be number 19, right? Or check that, Cole Combs.
That was a nice play by the Blazers. They ran Jermaine Lang down just past the first down stake. They had four out on that pass route. Everybody else was running deep, trying to run those defensive backs off. Jared was then going to throw for the first down. Jermaine had the ball, and it was a pretty good throw, I think, but he was definitely hit way before the pass got there.
All right, set. Give the ball to Wrench. Leads behind Mio Gray. Have another flag coming in. This one's going to be late. This may be against Blue Valley.
Face mask?
We'll have to check.
It could be holding.
Came in from the line judge.
Yeah.
And we're going to have face mask personal foul.
Well,
so that's going to add another 15 yards.
Those are big ones.
So now the mistakes that the Blazers were making, we're seeing the Tigers make some mistakes.
Boy, I don't think we've seen a game that's had as crucial a penalties play
at particular times.
At particular times, so significant roles as these have tonight. Both sides have really benefited or suffered from penalties.
And mind you, this drive started at the 6-yard line of the Blazers. 5:55 to go in the first half. Hobby looking left side. He's going over Tim Seymour. Pass is almost complete. Led Seymour just a hair too much. Nice effort by Seymour.
Well, that's 3 passes now that Jared has missed by, I would say, less than a foot. And there was another one. That was a touchdown pass out here. Really nice touch by Jared. And Seymour really made a nice effort, as you noted. Timmy had the same kind of a play early in the first quarter on the first drive, and then Jared Sparks had one that was just 6 inches over his outreached hands. So the Blazers have got their own passing game kind of dialed up right now that is really, really close. Blazers really got to get something in. They've got to get points here with 5:47.
Regardless. Well, they're in field goal range, so you're sure they're going to get something. They really need to punch this one in to get some momentum going. Staggered backfield. First and goal from the 6, or check that. That should be second and goal.
I'm like you. I'm looking at the down marker over there. We're still on 1.
And they have 1 on the scoreboard. And we're going to have illegal motion against the Blazers, so back it up 5. So it should be second and goal from the 11.
Well, we'll hope they don't move that, because this will be one of those 5 down.
Can we have Colorado against Missouri?
Yeah, there you go.
Was it Colorado?
It was Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a 5-for-4 special?
It was.
We got Walmart down
there.
Can we get one of those?
5-for-4 special that ended up winning Colorado the national championship, if I remember that.
It's something big. So they're showing first and goal, but it should be second and goal. Stagger backfield. And the ball up to Clayton Doherty across the 5-yard line down to the 4.
Woo, a little deception by Coach Neary. He lined Trayvon Wrench over on the right slot. He lined Dye up as a fullback. Jared Hobby kind of in a diamond look. They had Seymour lined up to the left side. They faked the handoff to Trayvon coming around the left end, and then Dye goes right up the middle on the trap play. Kind of catches Blue Valley off guard. You can tell by that play, Ryan, that evidently they're really keying Trayvon hard. So maybe some of the guys that are kind of under the radar might have big nights tonight.
Second to go from the 4. Wrench cuts it back inside, leans up ahead, spins around and goes goal line, touchdown Blazers.
Number 25 for Trayvon, 24 on the year rushing.
Big
what
touchdown.
A drive by the Blazers to answer, and I don't know how he does it, but somehow, some way, he gets his team to rise to the occasion and to answer the bell, and those 95 yards for a huge touchdown drive for the Blazers. Big after touchdown kick try right here by Chase Lee.
This is going to be huge. Chase Lee with the extra point. Snap is bobbled. As Drake Sparks could not handle it. The snap was low.
Well, that takes a little bit of the thunder out of the drive right there.
Blazers covered 95 yards in 13 plays, 3 minutes and 46 seconds. They cut the lead down 14-6. We'll be back with a kickoff. You're listening to the Blazer Broadcast Network on 810 Varsity Sports.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Golden Goose Floral. They deliver anywhere in the KC area. They're also a teleflorist shop for worldwide service. Golden Goose Floral, 404 East Main in Gardner, across from Big O Tires.
Prestige Poker League. Join Prestige Poker League Wednesday nights at 7 at Wally's. For a complete listing, check them out online at prestigepoker.ning.com.
America's Computers is your one-stop for all your computer needs. Go see them at 1823 East Santa Fe in Gardner.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Ryan Ragland, Dave Webb, Dustin Duck Martin down on the sideline. We'll get the Duck here in a little bit. We've got Wally and Darren helping us with the stats here. The True Value Ace Hardware, the Trails West Ace Hardware, and Feed broadcast booth, as we're trying to get that figured out on the spot and the penalty and the down, but doesn't matter. The Blazers come up with a touchdown.
Nice kick.
As here's a kick. It's going to be taken by Ryan McLaren. He runs it off to the far side across the 15, across the 20. He's going to be met hard by Getzman at the 24-yard line.
Ryan, how important is this last 4:51 here in the first half?
Massive. You got to stop them. You have to stop them. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I can't help but reflect on last year's game up here. What a ball game it was, where Bubba Starling rushed for just amazing a record number
396 yards.
396, even though we had him at 404.
I like 404.
And
our stats better.
But
395. Excuse me.
I tell you what, that was a chess match at the end of that game like no other, and that'll be the case this last drive. Coach Driscoll for Blue Valley has got to decide, do I give the ball back? Do I try to chew this clock up? Do I run? Do I throw it?
Zimmerman being chased. Pass intended for Rankenmeyer again.
That play took 5 seconds. It was 4:51 when they snapped it. It's 4:46 right now.
Coach Henry's bringing the dogs right now, too.
And that's what you run into. You run the risk as a coach. Do you put it on the ground and start chewing up seconds, or do you run the risk trying to score? And because 4:50 is certainly plenty of time to take the ball down the field if you can execute on some pass plays.
2nd and 10 from the 25. It looks like Henry's bringing the blitz from one side, preparing the other side in case he's going to start scrambling. They got twins to the near side.
Now he
Folks with the ball back.
Now on 2nd down and long, he decides,
Or check that wasn't Folks.
I think that's the backup because I think Folks is out.
Yeah, that's Folks out there. Folks is out there with the run. So 3rd and 10.
But on 2nd down, you decide, okay, maybe we shouldn't throw it. Let's run it. Now the defense is sitting there and they pound you for no gain. You're in 3rd and long.
Blazers bring in 3. Zimmerman looking to pass to Rinkenmeyer. Pass complete at the 4th. Oh, they're going to say he dropped it.
That was a big hit.
Alex Winkler with the hit as they're conferring.
It stretched
and
him
they're going to say it's incomplete, and it's going to be 4 and out on the incomplete pass. So it took less than a minute for those 3 plays. Blazers, if they can get good field position, they will look in very, very nice if they can go down comparatively to what they could have been 5 minutes ago on the clock.
Oh, no question about it. 5 minutes ago on the clock, 8 minutes to go in this quarter. They're on the 5-yard line, 2nd down and 3rd down and a bunch when Trayvon breaks off a 43-yarder.
Johnson with the punt.
Oh, no, that ball hit the back of a Blazer, I think.
Well, they're going to give it to the Blazers, so a break for the Blazers as they're going to get the ball in the 45 with 4:04 to go on the clock. So if they can go down there and they can get a touchdown, minimal getting a field goal will still be a lot of momentum.
Well, we heard Coach Sheeter talk about this a couple of weeks ago about how do you approach this? Do you want to try to get down and score quickly? Do you want to milk the clock a little bit? Are you pretty comfortable right now being 14-6? If nothing else happens, the last thing you want to do is give Blue Valley another chance.
Wrench with the ball to the near side. He's not going to get very far. In fact, he's going to lose probably about 2 yards on the play.
Boy, is that Blue Valley defense well schemed for this.
And mind you, this is a totally different defense than we saw last year because they lost all their defensive players.
Graduated all 11 starters from a year ago. Well, this brings up a tough down and distance for the Blazers, 2nd down and 12, and they too have got to run some clock off here, Ryan, because if they were to throw a pass, and they've got to complete it because it'll give there's a lot of confusion out there right now. They're going to have to call timeout.
Yeah, they were trying to change guys on either side. Coach Steiner's not happy, but the good thing is the Blazers had 3 timeouts, so they had one to burn if they needed to. Duck Martin down on the sideline, and I know we haven't gotten to him, but he's been walking up and down the field. Tell us what the mood is down there after that touchdown.
After the touchdown, the mood down here is about 100% different. I mean, the guys are excited. Coaches are pumped up, smiles on the faces, guys cheering for each other. Tell you what, guys, there in the first quarter, it was like a library down here. Nobody wanted to say anything because they were going to get sent to ISS or something.
It sounds like a man knows from experience.
Dude, I'm not. It was quiet. It was quiet.
It was a very somber mood.
Even I was quiet. I didn't have a whole lot to say either. And you know that doesn't ever happen.
No, that doesn't happen very often.
Hey, Doc, any texts from Greg Plank?
They are running really behind out there. I don't know what the holdup is, but at the start of the second quarter, he said about 30 more minutes till the girls go on.
All right.
We'll keep updated on the Blazers volleyball team in Topeka playing for state title. 3:22 to go in the first half. Hobby with a shuttle pass to Wrench. Gets across the 45-yard line over to the 50. And I'll tell you right now, we didn't see that shuttle pass until after McPherson because we never saw it at the beginning of the season. Now all of a sudden, we're checking that shuttle pass in every once in a while. It's working pretty well.
Very safe play because, first of all, if it's dropped, it's an incomplete pass. Second of all, you get the ball into
your pass block.
To your most dynamic player, and that's Trayvon Wrench at very, very little risk, almost like a quick screen underneath. Let the offensive lineman let that defensive lineman come across.
Hobby looking right side. He's looking downfield as he's going to be hit hard.
Wow.
And we'll have to check the number on that truck. I didn't see who it was. I think that was number 45.
No, it's number
David Marr.
Yep, you're right.
He just lowered the boom on Hobby.
Well, now the roles have just been reversed here. That drive took them less than, or just about a minute. and 2:40 left on the clock, so the Blazers are now going to punt it back to Blue Valley. Blue Valley can now probably dial up. They can get a little more aggressive with their pass offense or offensive play calling in general, as even if they do use 3 downs.
Along with a nice kick, it's going to take a sideways bounce out of the 23-yard line.
Even if Blue Valley does use 3 downs now and they're fairly short, the Blazers will not have a significant amount of time to drive the distance in the field to put points on. So I would look for Zimmerman to get back in that pistol offense and for them to throw the ball a little bit. Maybe some stop routes, move the ball down the field, try to get some first down, stop the clock, move the chains, and at least get within field goal distance. They've got the wind. Now they'll still be going
into the wind.
So we could tell on that last drive when they did have the wind or the first drive actually that they scored on, that they did not elect on a 4th and about 16 play, did not elect to kick the ball for a 37-yard field goal. So that's about the limit evidently.
Offense checks over to the sideline to get a secondary call. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. 2:33 to go in the first half. Zimmerman looking downfield up the middle, looking for Reckenmeyer, but there's going to be a flag. Wow. As I think that was Goldsmith that was almost looking back, but Reckenmeyer actually had to slow up a little bit for the pass and got bumped by Austin Goldsmith.
Well, fortunately, that's not a spot foul in high school football. It's a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. Had it been a spot foul, that would have been up near the 50-yard line.
Clock stops at 2:27.
We better keep an eye on these
spots
because they
should move it up to the 37-yard line. And they got the spot right. Congratulations.
Right.
What we figured out was they misspot the ball after the incomplete pass to Seymour. You wonder if the penalty was a makeup for missing it 5 yards, so it's hard telling. Zimmerman going up top. He's looking deep for Skaggs. Pass is going to be complete at the 35-yard line. Justin Long on the coverage. Check that was Mike Avila.
Well, that's what we talked about. You knew Blue Valley could probably get a little bit more aggressive now. They're going to throw the ball up there, one-on-one situations, let their receivers go for it. If it gets picked off, it's not a big loss because there's only going to be about 2 minutes left to go. It'll be served like a punt. That time Skaggs comes down with the play. Skaggs comes in as the leading receiver, 530 yards receiving for Blue Valley. Rickenmeyer's been the other favorite target for Zimmerman tonight.
Zimmerman being chased. He's going to be brought down by Brett Bovitz at the 35-yard line. So no gain on the play.
Nice play by Bovitz as he came off the outside, off the edge, off the right edge of the defense. He came off the blind side of Zimmerman that time, around the end. Bovitz is an outside linebacker. Like you said earlier, Coach Coach Henry dialing up some pressure. Boy, it's been a cat and mouse on the long interference pass play moments ago. They went with a 3-man rush, dropped 8. That time they brought 5, dropped 6.
Trips to the near side, 2nd and 10. Zimmerman's got a pass complete. That's going to be Jack Porter with the reception at the 15-yard line. And it's going to be close to a first down. In fact, it will be a Tiger first down.
I believe that's 4 different receivers, isn't it, Darren, that he's thrown to?
And they're moving the chains.
He really stepped into that one. He ran a little turn-in route about 10 yards down the field, did Porter. He was inside receiver, ran right at the safety, backed him up, stopped 10 yards, turned around, showed his numbers to Zimmerman. Boy, Zimmerman put it right on the button. Kid reminds me a lot of his throwing style. He's not near as big of Matthews out of McPherson. Same type of game.
First and 10, trips to the far side. Zimmerman being chased by Bovitz. He's got a lot of green ahead of him. It's going to be another first down. He's going to jump in at the goal. It's going to be in for a touchdown, Tigers.
2 minutes and 40 seconds. They go 78 yards, led by Kyle Zimmerman. Really a nice drive by Blue Valley. You got to tip their hats, and just had the defense in a very tough situation there for the Blazers defense.
I didn't get the run on that. Zimmerman running for 15 yards on the touchdown.
And they were man-to-man coverage, so when Zimmerman broke the pocket and got outside, all the defensive backs for the Blazers were locked up in man coverage with their eyes to eyes and had the back of their head to the line of scrimmage. Zimmerman, knowing that and showing good wheels, just outran Brant Bovitz around the edge and then dove to the pylon as I believe that was Luis Avila, came off his man at the goal line, but just didn't come off in time or couldn't come off in time to get Zimmerman stopped. So what a big turn of events that drive was for this ball game. Ryan, we talked about the up and down roller coaster that this game was going to have with momentum shifts.
I'm going to take you back to a play last year. Zimmerman rolling out to the near side. Marcus Williams covering P.J. DeBay. Plank and Bovitz coming in on the scramble as Williams comes up, not knowing that Williams or that Plank and Bovitz were coming up. He releases, left him right there at the G on the goal line on the south side, wide open. This time they're staying back with him. The linebackers aren't getting across, and Zimmerman's got all this pasture to run in.
Exactly right.
58 seconds to go in the first half. Tigers leading 20-6 over the Blazers. As
these individual extra points are huge in these point systems.
As the extra point is up by Johnson, and it's good.
No, he missed
it.
Check
that, no good.
Missed it.
So we're back to even. We're back to 14. But the fact remains, we still need to, right now as the situation sets, the Blazers are still in. They won't be a district champ. They will be on the road next week as long as the game in Pittsburgh between Pittsburgh and St. Thomas stays close. That's the only thing we need right now. Even if Pittsburgh wins, it has to be close, and they cannot win by 13.
Because the Blazers beat Pittsburgh by 13, and just because of the point spread.
Right. But right now, if they lose by 13 and Pittsburgh wins by 13, then the Blazers are out. We can't be having that.
No.
And right now, this Tiger team is not playing like a team that had 45 points, ran up on them, and had a struggle time with Pittsburgh.
So let me ask you this, Ryan, just so anybody listening's got this straight. What if the Blazers what if the Blazers lose, Blue Valley wins by 13, Pittsburgh doesn't win by 13, Blue Valley is the district champ.
Blue Valley's district champ.
And Gardner is in the
Gardner
playoffs.
is in the playoffs still.
But as a second place district finisher.
Seymour takes this at the 5-yard line, a little stutter step. He's going to be down at the 12.
Well, you got to think Coach Diener's probably going to put this thing on the give it to Trayvon a couple of times, see if Trey can't break one long, but be very content at this point to just go in down 20-6.
Now I'm going to give you another bad news. Blue Valley gets the ball at the start of the second half. And Blue Valley has only punted the ball one time in their possessions. 1st and 10, Seymour in the jet. They fake the handoff, give it to Wrench on the trap. He leans up ahead, down at the 20. Clock at 44.
I tell you, that was the trap play that they ran so effectively in East St. Louis. They faked the jet sweep to Timmy Seymour going from his right to left, across the formation. Jared Hobby comes back, fakes it to Seymour, and then gives it to Trey right up the middle. And Trey just stumbled over, a hash line or something out there, but he had a pretty good hold there to run through.
Got an update, 1:55 to go in the half. Pittsburgh leading 14-7. Wrench with the ball, stutter steps across the 20-yard line, makes it up to the 22. Game clock running at 9, and that's going to be into the first half as Duck Martin is down on the sideline, and he'll get a word with Coach Diener. And right now the front line is just not blocking very well, and trying to look for Duck right now. And we've got Duck down there with Coach Diener. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm down here with Coach Diener. Coach Diener, the Tigers throwing everything at your defense here. A little bit of run, a little bit of pass. What do we got to do to slow them down?
They haven't made a yard on running. It's pretty obvious we got to make some plays on the pass, but our D's played great. They've played great. We need to make some plays on offense and keep them off the field, but they haven't made a yard on running.
So the run defense holding up, pass defense maybe need a little work there in the second half, but we'll go get them, Coach.
Doug Martin down on the sideline with Coach Diener as the Blazers trail by a score of 20-6. We'll take a timeout here on senior night at Blue Valley. Week 3 of districts, a district playoff situation is at hand for both teams and for Pittsburgh. And we'll get some more updates at the half down there. Again, Blue Valley leads by a score of 20-6. We'll be back right after this with the Anytime Fitness halftime show. You're listening to the Blazer Broadcast Network on 810 Varsity Sports.
This is Doug with Anytime Fitness. Are you looking to get in shape and not sure where to turn? Let us help. At Anytime Fitness, we have high-quality, well-maintained equipment that you can always count on. Looking for some advice? Our friendly, certified staff is always ready to help you achieve your specific fitness goal. With our great membership prices, we promise you can achieve the best results for your money. So if you have any questions, give me a call at 856-0100 or
a shocker going around right now. People checking halftime scores, and
this was a Blazer offense that really started clicking. They really started getting things going. And watching the practice with the boys this week, Coach Dina was really excited about the way the team was practicing. They were doing well. There was a lot of things that were really getting adjusted. He liked the way things were going, and he's. Last night, talking to the guys during film, he was really positive. Just, he wasn't getting, all fired up and everything. He said, hey, you got to do this. You key on this. You point on this. The keys were the passing game. I mean, we take a look at Jared Hobby. He's 0 for 6, and he very well could be 4 out of 6.
Very, very easily could be, yeah. And I think he did get the one pass interference call. I don't know how Darren scored that, but
that's just an incomplete, I believe.
No, that's a completion. It should be counted as a completion.
Okay.
And so you'd almost have to count that.
Well, and you take a look at the rushing. 11 carries for Trayvon Wrench, 67 yards, one by Clayton Dye for 7, and Hobby has rushed 2 times for 7 yards. Other than that, that's all the offense. You count that up, 7-14, 70, 81 yards total offense for the Blazers will not get you many points.
Well, that means we've got some losses.
We've got a lot of losses.
Losses because we went on a 95-yard drive.
40 yards by penalties.
True.
So you take a look at that.
True. And actually, I think that's the way they score pass interference. It's a penalty, not a completion. So I retract that. So
score tied. An update thanks to Rob Chico. 14-14. That's good news.
Well,
Keep it up, Robbie.
Is there any better district in the state of Kansas than the EKL? And I'm not talking about just quality of teams, but competition this year. How about these 4 teams and the entertainment value that they are providing fans in this part of the state who are following St. Thomas Aquinas, Blue Valley High, Gardner-Edgerton, and Pittsburgh. All and unfortunately for St. Thomas, they're sitting at 0-2, and looks like they've got a really, really kind of a struggling team this year. But they gave Gardner a really good test last week. They lose 14-0 to this Blue Valley High team in week 1 of district play, and hold Blue Valley scoreless the last 3 quarters. So. And now they're in a dogfight with Pittsburgh, 14-14, down at the Purple Dragon House. So. Boy, this is just, I don't know if it gets, the only thing I can think just recently that gets better than this is the baseball game from last night in the World Series. How about that game?
I had to work today. I fell asleep.
Oh, my
goodness. It was 7-4, and I thought, okay, they're done.
I fell asleep too. But I did wake up to read about it and thought, holy mackerel. What happened? But
it's amazing how that happens.
Have we got a score on that? Because I think that game 2 is. If anybody has that score, email that to us. Because
I'm sure Rob can find it for us. He'll bring it out to us and let us know.
Because I'm sure there's a lot of Redbird fans in this area.
No, this is Royal area.
Well, that's true.
Even though we have an owner that we haven't heard from in buku years, and
hey, you can't really.
I can
curse him too much at this point. He just drafted Bubba Starling. Are you kidding me?
That was a no-brainer.
Things are on the way up. Things are on the way up.
Look, it was a no-brainer. If they wouldn't have drafted Bubba, they would have been chastised and ran out of town. They would have been going out of town looking for a new stadium. I mean, come on. Give me a break. They would have been going over to Salt Lake City or something for a new team.
That could be.
That's just my opinion. As they say, I'm not saying.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. We're going to take a timeout as the Blue Valley Tiger Band put on a nice little show out here. And, now we've got the xylophones going on. Too much going on for me. I'm used to football. I was in the band.
Well, you're naming off instruments I didn't even know were instruments.
Xylophone, sousaphone,
yeah.
bassoon. You know what the bassoon is, don't you? No, you don't. If you got to sit there and look at me like that, you don't know what it is. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with the Anytime Fitness Halftime Show with Ryan Ragland and Dave Webb. Dustin Duck Martin down on the sideline. He'll get with Coach Henry coming back after the halftime with Wally and Darren taking stats. We'll be back in a little bit. You're listening to Blazer Broadcast Network on 810 Varsity Sports.
Why is Anytime Fitness Gardner's #1 choice? At Anytime Fitness, we offer free guidance programs and classes for all ages. With an Anytime Fitness membership, you have access to over 1,400 clubs nationwide. Also, with your membership, you can receive 1 month free when you sign up a friend. For more details, give me a call at 856-0100. Or better yet, come by and take a look at what we have to offer. We are located at 255 North Stone Creek Drive behind Electric Sun. What's your goal? Let us help. Anytime Fitness.
Education is not solely the subject. I believe that education is about preparing children intellectually, emotionally, and socially for the future. Involvement in school activities gives students a chance to discover an interest that could lead to an enjoyable occupation or pastime. Interacting with diverse people in different situations contributes to better problem solving and teamwork skills. School programs encourage teens to become successful and happy adults. This is Tiffany Fisher from Moundridge High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Golden Goose Floral. They deliver anywhere in the KC area. They're also a teleflorist shop for worldwide service. Golden Goose Floral, 404 East Main in Gardner, across from Big O Tires.
Prestige Poker League. Join Prestige Poker League Wednesday nights at 7 at Wally's. For a complete listing, check them out online at prestigepoker.ning.com.
America's Computers is your one-stop for all your computer needs. Go see them at 1823 East Santa Fe in Gardner.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Ryan Ragland, Dave Webb, Dustin Duck Martin, Wally and Darren here at the Trails West Ace Hardware Feed broadcast booth. At the half, 20-6, Blue Valley leading Gardner. One of the fine sponsors for 810 Varsity Sports is Christian Brothers Roofing. Now, if you're going to trust someone with your roof over your head, you need to be trusting a roofing company like Christian Brothers Roofing. They get years of experience and integrity, and don't wait until there's a problem. Contact Christian Brothers Roofing for a complimentary 16-point roof and gutter inspection at Christian Brothers Roofing, 816-453-ROOF, or at 453roof.com. Also, Nick and Jake's Real Food, Honest Drink. Nick and Jake's, the proud sponsor of 810varsity.com. Check out the promotions throughout the season on Facebook or on Twitter at Nick and Jake's. At the half, 20-6, Blue Valley leading Gardner-Edgerton. And right now, role reversal from last week for the Blazers. It was imperative that St. Thomas stop the Blazers defensively to get back in the game. With Blue Valley getting the ball to start the half, it's imperative that the Blazers defense stop the Tigers.
Well, there's no question. And Ryan, you know, it just looked like the Blazers were a little flat coming out tonight, and Blue Valley had a little bit more fire. Obviously, we talked about that on Coach's show last Saturday, that and you've mentioned this too, that you've got a sleeping dog that was awoken by Pittsburgh last week, and there's no question that this team realized that it was in dire straits, and it's got to come out and try to take care of business tonight here against the Blazers. And they really came out, stormed the field, and played like that. The Blazers looked like they got a little bit of life back there in the second quarter, responded with the long drive. But you're exactly right. For the Blazers to get down 3 scores, and I think we've heard Coach Diener talk about that, teams that get down 2 scores are in a real dilemma. Teams that get down 3 scores lose, is the way Coach looks at it. So he's probably sharing that message with the boys right now. It'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments the Blazers make defensively. You know, and I don't know what they can do much differently when you've got a team executing as well as Zimmerman is executing throwing the ball. That's the funny thing about throwing and catching. you look at the two sides of the ball, and Zimmerman's putting the ball right on the button. And he's something like 12 out of 16, and he's got a touchdown and really putting the defense in a dilemma back there in the secondary. Jared Hobby, on the other hand, is 0 for 6, but could very easily be 4 for 6, and is just a whisker away on 3 or 4 balls that would have been receptions and certainly could have led to at least one more touchdown.
Yeah, and you can take a look at, you don't want to say that one play is a key factor or anything, but offensively on the passes that Hobby's had, you could pick any one of the 4, and it totally changes the attitude of the drive.
Yeah, I would agree. So it'll be really important. That's the offensive side of the ball, and that's something that's going to have to come up big after the defense comes up big with this first opening kickoff of the second half. A defensive stand that they'll be put in. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
We're going to pull up A10 Varsity Sports and take a look at the scoreboard and see what else is going on. As we said, at the half, score tied 14-14, St. Thomas and Pittsburgh. Take a look at some of the other scores around the area. DeSoto, big over St. James Academy last night, 41-34. And DeSoto, 4-5. They come up with, another district win, and they're back in the playoffs. And that's a team where you sit there and you go, they don't do much during the Frontier League, and all of a sudden they come up in districts and do something.
I believe I read that's the 4th season in a row now that DeSoto has been in the playoffs. Eudora, I want to give a shout out to Brother Greg over there. They did well beating Baldwin last night to secure a 3-0 district championship, and they're going to be moving into the playoffs as well, and will have a high seed as they're coming out, I believe, with just 1 loss right now, standing at 8-1. Tough loss to St. James Academy earlier this year.
You could be Kansas City Harmon against Bishop Miege, and Miege just rolling up the points, 54-12 over Harmon.
Not going to hurt the leading pass leader in the conference, Montrell Covert, the quarterback for Bishop Miege, rolling up big.
Schlegel, 6-0 over Washington, and if I believe right, Schlegel is 0-2 in districts, and they're done. They were 6-0, and they lost their first 2 games. Taking a look at some of the other ones around the area. Bonner Springs over Lansing. That's a battle for the number 1 or the district title. Bonner over Lansing right now, 35-14. Mill Valley over Turner, 21-7. Take a look around, 7-6. Olathe South over East.
That's a big one. I believe that's for a district.
And here's a surprise: Olathe Northwest, 28-21 over Olathe North so far. That's a surprise.
And that will eliminate Olathe North from postseason play, and Olathe North played in the state championship game last year.
Yeah. So Paola, big over Lewisburg, 42-7. So the defending 4A state champs not in the playoffs. So a big turnaround. As down on the sideline, we should have Duck with Coach Henry. There you go, Duck.
All right, 1 second. All right.
Now
Coach Henry, here at half, 20-6, down by a couple scores here. What'd you tell your defense at half to get the scoring to stop?
Well, they've converted third down after third down. We've had pressure there, and we've had a chance to make plays, but we're missing open field tackles on the edge. And the bottom line is when you're one-on-one, you got to get him down. You got to trying just isn't good enough. You got to find a way to get him on the ground, and we've had opportunities to do that. And we'll have opportunities again this second half, and we got to get him on the ground when we have the chance.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck to you in the second half.
Duck down on the sideline with Coach Henry. We're going to take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll be ready for the kickoff of the second half. It's Blue Valley and Gardner with the Tigers leading 20-6. You're listening to the Blazer Broadcast Network on A10 Varsity Sports.
Thanks for tuning in to the Anytime Fitness Halftime Show. The second half is up next on the Blazer Broadcast Network.
In today's society, people get very worked up about sports. We give up important things in life to watch or play sports. Yes, sports are important, but have you ever thought about the other things that our youth are involved in? How many of you know what goes on at a forensics meet or debate meet? How many of us have ever been to a piano or music festival? It is scientifically proven that youth in music tend to get better grades and have better relationship with others. This has been a message from Tyler Gehring with the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Big O Tires, where you can get a free tire balance and rotation with every oil change. Just mention you heard it here. Big O Tire, 331 East Main in Gardner, across from Golden Goose Floral.
All Rental. Reserve your aerator and power rakes now at All Rental. Check out their equipment at 260 North Moonlight in Gardner.
Cook Family Chiropractic. To maximize the performance of your young athlete, a regular fitness, nutrition, and rehabilitation program can help. For more information, call Dr. Brian Cook at 856-0200.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Ryan Ragland, Dave Webb, Dustin Duck Martin down the sideline. Wally and Darren with the stats as we're getting set to kick off the second half. Tigers leading 20-6 as the Tigers will be receiving the ball to start the second half. As we mentioned at the half, down in Pittsburgh, St. Thomas scoring 14 points in the second quarter to tie the game at the half, and they were down 1:55 to go. They were down 14-7, so they brought up the 2-minute offense and got a score to tie. And St. Thomas is in kind of a weird situation. There's no love lost between the two teams, but they do know that if they win, they help us. But then again, they just want to win to finish the season out. So it's like, you know, which way is that pendulum going to swing?
Right. Well, and I think one thing that we kind of gets lost in our conversation with Pittsburgh, we talk a lot about their offense, but they have given up some serious points. So their defense has got some flaws in it. They give up 50 to the Blazers 2 weeks ago. They give up to 35 to Blue Valley last week, and Blue Valley scored 28 of those 35, I believe, in the second half. And then tonight, Aquinas making a little bit of noise down there, scoring 14 points, and that's not a particularly explosive Aquinas offense. So Pittsburgh's got to they've kind of got to bone it up a little bit there on the defensive side of the ball, and kind of help their offense out a little bit tonight, I think, if they want any chance to get into the postseason play.
As the team captains are getting ready to come out. Now we had a situation earlier where they were announcing the parents for the seniors of the band. Well, we had the 15-yard penalty back at home not too long ago when the halftime show went a little bit too long, and the Blazers ended up getting a 15-yard penalty. I believe that was against McPherson. I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
Well, they still had a lot of the band members and the parents still coming out. And the White Hat was coming out saying, okay, we need to get this going. We've got the time on the clock. And Keisha's pretty strict about, when the time goes, when they start, how long the halftime can be and everything. Well, one of the parents were kind of talking back and forth to the White Hat. We could tell they weren't too happy about it, but the White Hat's just doing his job. So it's kind of interesting to find out if Blue Valley's going to get a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, it is, Ryan. And they're down there talking to Coach Driscoll right now, and there obviously was the parents were still out. There were probably 4 or 5 sets of parents still out on the field when the 3-minute warm-up time started, and the officials made their way over and said, folks, you got to get off the field, And you could tell they were all turning their head looking at him like
hey, wait a minute here.
What do you mean we got to get off the field? This is a
we'll
serious moment here.
We'll have to check. The kickoff usually goes from the 40. So this would move it up to the 45 of Blue Valley.
Well, we'll see here. The officials are converging out at the 50, and they're all talking, but they break. Doesn't necessarily look to me like there's going to be a penalty. They're going to put it on the 40 and kick off. So.
Okay. Hey, Duck, are you around? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm right here.
I got a text from Rob.
Okay.
It says, hey, Duck, tell the boys I am there on the field taking the hits with them. Blue Valley might be a better team, but not today. Hold on. Not this year. Every day is a great day to be a Blazer. I might be sick on meds, but I will drive out there if they need me to motivate that crowd.
Yeah,
we are Blazer Nation when they are winning. We are Blazer Nation when they are losing. Go Blazers.
That's right, Rob. That away, kid. Once a Blazer, always a Blazer.
I thought you'd enjoy that. So Chase Lee kicking the ball off at the 40. as kick is going to go deep, and it's going to roll out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Nice judgment by Ryan McNairn, or that name always gets me. McNairlin. It just doesn't flow very well until I'm using McNairlin.
Well, I'll tell you, something else didn't flow very well, and that was that kickoff. It hit down right on the 10-yard line and then did a sharp left turn and went right out of bounds about the 8. And that is a big play because that's going to put the ball up at the 35-yard line. 35-yard line, and Blue Valley's going to have the wind at their back to start this third quarter. Blazers down 20-6. Ryan, this is huge.
Massive. Massively huge?
Ginormous.
Ginormous?
Huge.
I can't come up with a new word. I haven't done that this year yet. So 1st and 10 from the 35. Give the ball to Folks. He gets good yardage on the first down. Give him about 4 yards on the carry.
And you can still see he's running a little bit tentative.
He's not cutting as much. He's going more vertical.
They've no doubt got him taped up, retaped, and that ankle is probably not going to be a very good shape for the remainder of this football season. As a badly sprained ankle, they can get you from week to week, but
a lot of ice and a lot of heat.
Yeah, but it's just not going to fully recover until some time off.
So 2nd and 6, just starting the third quarter.
The Blazers really crowd the line of scrimmage right now. They're moving guys all over the place.
They give the ball to Folks. It gets away from Plank. He's across the 50. He's got a lot of Greenfield ahead of him, but he's being chased. Justin Long may get him. He's at the 5. He's going to be down at the 1-yard line.
Well, it's a good thing they don't have instant replay because they would review this play, and it looked like Folks went across the line. But how about Justin Long running him down? That was just a little veer read or a little zone read play from out of the pistol, and finally they make some kind of adjustment in the locker room, and they pop Folks through there that time, and you can see why he is the second leading rusher in the EKL with over 1,200 yards on the season, 1,258 yards, and averaging about 8 yards. He hadn't had anything happen.
Here's that big package again. They ran the same play out of that set. This time Justin Long was looking for it. Zimmerman on the keeper.
Well, up to that point, I believe Justin Falk's longest run was 4 yards. And, boy, he pops that one through for a big...
Yeah, he had a couple at 4, and that was it.
And that, I tell you what, though, how about the Blazers getting a stop here? Would that make that effort by Justin Long to run him down and stop him on the 1-foot line impressive?
Here's a keeper by Zimmerman. Leaps in for the touchdown Tigers. That is too easy. Zimmerman with his second rushing touchdown of the night puts the Tigers up 26-6 with 10:18 to go. His third rushing? I'll check that. His third rushing and 1 passing touchdown.
Well, that touchdown play was a little lead option, or not a lead option, but a quick option around the right side that Zimmerman had 2. He had a pitch back, and then he had a blocker out in front of his pitch, and he elected to cut it up underneath and cross that goal line, and really has put Blue Valley in the driver's seat here, 27-6. That drive takes about less than 2 minutes.
Minute 45. So
minute 42, 65 yards.
So the Tigers lead Tigers of Blue Valley lead Gardner-Edgerton 27-6. 10:18 to go in the third quarter. We'll be back with a kickoff. You're listening to the Blazer Broadcast Network on 810 Varsity Sports.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Cook Family Chiropractic. Discover how the world's greatest athletes use chiropractic care to excel on and off the field. Call Dr. Brian Cook at 856-0200 for more information.
Call Hickman Heating and Air for all of your air quality needs. Things like filtration, humidifiers, and dehumidifiers. For a free estimate, call Dawn at Hickman Heating and Air, 856-7730.
Wally's Neighborhood Grill. Why not try Wally's $7 specials with drinks included? Wally's Neighborhood Grill, 808 East Main.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Johnson's kick goes to the end zone, caught by Ryan Getzman. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Blazers at their 20-yard line.
Ryan, think about that. That kickoff goes into the end zone, no return. The Blazers are going to start at the 20. Chase Lee's kickoff goes out of bounds to start the second half, and Blue Valley gets to start at the 35. If that if that drive starts at the 20, maybe Justin Long catches Folk, stops him at the 15-20, and they don't get in.
Wrench has the pass out in the flat, but he's going to be brought down at a loss. Nice pursuit by the Tiger defense.
There is no question that they are keying number 20 for the Blazers big time, and everywhere Trey goes, the Blue Valley Tiger defense has 3 and 4 guys. It seems like just all around Trey, and it's going to have to be a huge accomplishment to bust Trey loose. I would think this half. You might look for Clayton Dye to pop something, or a kid that's kind of flying under the radar.
Wrench with the ball, cuts it inside across the 20-yard line, back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard past it. It's going to be 3rd and 9.
Another area that looks like the Blazers are just not being quite as effective tonight is the blocking out on the edges. Drake and Ryan Getzman and Timmy Seymour just not being able to get guys held out there in their location, stock blocked out on the edges, that keeps some lanes open for Trey once he pops to the outside.
So 3rd and 9, 9 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Get that throwing arm going, Jared.
He's going to need it. Split backfield out of the shotgun. Looking off the left side for Seymour on the slant and throws it short. And that's a perfect situation that they wanted, because Seymour was wide open, and all Javi had to do was just turn his hips and throw it. He didn't have to drop back.
He did get a low snap, though, from center that time, and he come up, and I think they were bringing the blitz. I think Jared thought he has to get rid of this, and if you remember the shot that Jared took earlier from big number 45, 5'11", 200-pound Jackson Tupper, David Marr, a 6'2", 200-pounder. He really drilled Jared there late in the second quarter.
We're going to have a false start against the Blazers, so back it up another 5 yards.
Well, the Blazers are going to have something good happen. They need a turnover at this point, but right now you've got the punt return man for Blue Valley standing on the 50-yard line, so something good's going to have to happen here, or the Blazers defense is going to start up deep.
Justin Long gets that one away. Across the 45, bounces over to the 50. Another Blazer bounce.
Justin has a way of putting the right English on that ball, doesn't he?
43-yard line for the Tigers. What's a word greater than imperative? Is there a word greater than imperative?
Ultra critical? I don't know. Because that's what it is right now for the
Ultra
defense.
imperative?
Ultra imperative. Critical.
Oh, we're at DEFCON.
Critically ultra imperative.
I'm going to drop one on you. We're at DEFCON 5. Does that sound good?
I tell you what, the eyes are going to, the attention's going to shift from this game. If the Blazers can't get things shut down here pretty quick, they're going to shift from this one to that one in Pittsburgh.
There's Folks with the run, another first down, bounces it outside across the 30, out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
Well, you got to wonder what took place in the locker rooms, because that play was going for nothing first half, and all of a sudden Justin Folks, 2 consecutive plays, he runs one off for 60, and then he dashes that one for about 30, so 90 yards on 2 plays for Justin Folks, after the Blazers had really kept him in check with somewhere around 15 yards in the first half. So
1st and 10 from the 27-yard line of the Blazers for the Tigers. Zone read, give it back to Folks, and that's what we were seeing before. He's going to be brought down at the 25.
Yeah.
But never, even when he hits the hole, he's getting 2 or 3 yards. So that front line for the Tigers are just pushing the D-line for the Blazers back on their heels. They're not getting off the ball.
Well, and you've got to wonder a little bit about the injury situation with the loss of Dalton Kirk, if that's not coming into play a little bit right now, just because of the slowing down the number of rotations that the defensive line can have now.
So 2nd and 8. Zimmerman looking left side, pass complete to Reckenmeyer at the 20-yard line. Another 5 yards on the completion.
Just chipping away, and right now, chipping away is the demise of the Blazers, because they've got to get the ball back, and they've got to get that Blue Valley Tiger offense off the field without giving up any points. And they're down 27-6 right now. And boy, I tell you what, it almost makes it insurmountable if Blue Valley sticks another one in the end zone.
7:15 to go on the game clock in the third quarter. Tigers up 27-6 and knocking on the door again. Folks with the ball tries to make a cut to the right side.
There we've got.
And it looks like he had nothing, but he's still going to get about 3 yards on the play. But we have a flag.
And this flag come over from the sideline, and I think you're going to get, I don't know, big number 73 is pointing at the Blazers, but they're picking it up. How do you pick that up?
No, they were going to do a legal formation on Blue Valley, but they picked it up.
Yeah, and that's right, because they had 2 slots and then they had the pistol formation, so that was a legal formation. How did he throw that flag, though?
I lost count after 2. I don't know.
Well, it sure doesn't help your credibility when you're just slinging that thing around and then saying, hey, my mistake.
2, 4. Clock running at 6:53, 27-6, as we're going to have a timeout on the field, so we'll take a timeout too. As the Tigers lead 27-6 and knock on the door to score again. You're listening to the Blazer Broadcast Network on 810 Varsity Sports.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Integrity Communications. Keep our community and the surrounding area safe by keeping potentially harmful cell phones and electronics out of the local landfills. Bring them to Integrity Communications, 408 East Main in Gardner, or go online and register your donation at recyclewithintegrity.com.
All Rental. They rent everything from cribs to excavators. Give them a call at 856-8882.
Gardner Bank. Ask Diane about their great 15 and 30-year fixed-rate home loans, including personal service, quick turnaround times, and low closing costs. Gardner Bank, 840 East Main.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Ryan Ragland, Dave Webb, Dustin Duck Martin down the sideline, Wally and Darren with the stats here at the Trails West Ace Hardwind Feed broadcast booth.
You think we got Duck's ears on down there?
Duck always has his ears on. Duck?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Hey, getting any texts from over there?
I am. Actually, they just started their second set, game 1, tied up 19-19 right now.
Ooh, it's
go
a tight
Blazers.
One. So 4th and 1. Here's that jumbo package again. Zimmerman's going to keep it himself easily across the 15-yard line. And, Dave, you made the comment off air that the way this Blazer team looked last week against St. Thomas, there's none of that. The physicality just is not there.
We just thought last week, we made it mention early that the Blazers just looked more physical. They looked faster. They just looked like they had so much more pep in their step than the Aquinas team. And tonight it just looks like almost the roles have been reversed. But that could certainly be due to the scenario that was in play. Blue Valley had their backs against the wall, and they lose, they're out. And so obviously they came out with a mission here tonight and a purpose. With 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, they are knocking on the door, first down at the 15.
Zimmerman being chased. He's going to be brought down by Alex Winkler and Denton Lawrence.
There's a nice play there.
That's one that you definitely needed. That's going to back him out of field goal range.
And I think that was Jacob Fretz, actually.
Yeah, Fretz,
Fretz with Winkler. And Winkler's come off the edge a couple of times tonight with some big plays, and certainly that was a huge play for the defense right there. Blue Valley shooting themselves in the foot on that play. They were 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Now they're 2nd and about 18 from the 23-yard line.
27-6 right now, 5:30 to go in the third quarter. Slide a man in motion. We're going to have a flag on the play. One update from St. Louis, bottom of the 5th, Cards 3, Rangers 2. And we're going to have a false start. So that's going to back them up another 5 yards, and that's going to be huge.
Blue Valley doing the Blazers a favor here. They take the sack at the 8-yard loss. Now they take an illegal procedure penalty for another 5 yards. They are going the wrong direction fast, and that is certainly music to the Blazer defense's ears, as they were having a hard time getting Blue Valley under control.
Zimmerman gets the ball out to Fulks across the 20-yard line. It's going to be third and still a bunch.
Well, that's that little swing pass that they used so effectively in the first quarter to get out to a 14-0 lead. And Fulks comes up hobbling again, but the kid's hanging in there tough. And how about the offensive, the big-time players for this Blue Valley offense coming up big time today? Both Zimmerman and Fulks coming up with big games in this must-win situation for them.
3rd and 13 from the 18-yard line. Game clock at 4:45. Blazers bringing 3. Nice little hook pattern at the 10-yard line. It's going to be 4th and about 5. Pass complete to number 25. That's going to be Mickey Henson.
You got to wonder, were they playing for the 3 there, because they didn't look like they went for the whole enchilada, as they say. Just moved the ball down there, got it on a hash mark at about the 10-yard line. So this is going to be, what, a 27-yard field goal attempt?
Austin Johnson coming up for the field goal attempt.
Be huge if the Blazers can get this thing, or if they miss it.
There's a block by Marcus Williams, and he has just done that all season. And I'm not sure how many extra field goal blocks he has, but that comes up huge.
That is huge.
That's massive.
Well, you've got to really, really credit the Blazer defense for rising to the occasion there. They get the big sack, put Blue Valley in tough field position with down and distance, and then hold them to a field goal attempt, and
now
then block the field goal.
I thought the ball came out to the 20-yard line regardless, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has to go into the end zone if it's going to come out to the 20.
Oh, okay. So 1st and 10 from the 16. They give it to Seymour on the jet. He tries to get to the outside but cuts it in. I think if he went over the top, he'd have had a lot of room out there.
We have seen so many times where it looks like every play that coach calls, he just dials them up, and they just work so effectively. And tonight, I'm trying to think of any running play that the Blazers have.
The one long run by Wrench, but that was it.
But where they have just consistently probed that Blue Valley defense and found something that works. And they've just not been able to find anything. They've run the jet, they've run the trap, they've run the power, they've run the counter. And, boy, Blue Valley really setting the tone up on that front 4 by holding the offensive blocks of the Blazers. And then those linebackers really finishing Trayvon off to this point.
Sends Seymour on the jet again, handed off to Wrench. He gets up to the 20-yard line, about 3 yards. But now the Blazers facing 3rd and long again.
Very similar situation to the last series where they went 3 and out. They ran 2 up the middle and then put Jared in the shotgun. Here comes their passing set again. And Jared's going to have to hit one right here. You got to almost bet that they are going to be throwing it here. 3rd down and about 7.
Don't have another update from Pittsburgh yet. We'll get one of those as soon as we can.
You like the matchup out on the edge. They got Seymour one-on-one out here.
They're running Seymour out in the flat. Pass going to be just out of the outreached hands of Seymour, and that one falls on Hobby. And Seymour was wide open. He just overthrew it.
You could pretty well see it. Timmy lined up wide to the right.
Yeah.
Getzman wide to the left. They put one corner out with Seymour. Had him backed off about 7 yards. Seymour just ran a little out at 7, trying to get the first down, and he was wide open. The only thing is, Ryan, that's a long throw for Jared. He's over on, and we talked about this all the time with Bubba Starling, and we got spoiled because Bubba could set up on one hash and throw a 15-yard out on the other side of the field.
On
a line, and that is a 40-yard throw in the air. Bubba made it look easy.
Marcus Williams is going to bring down McLaren at the 45-yard line. Now get this. Out of the 7 possessions the Blazers have had, 4 have been 3 and outs. 1 was ended by the half, and they scored once.
Well, and the other thing that I think is pretty significant tonight is the field position. The Blazers, I know, have started 2 drives on their 20 with kickoffs that have gone through the end zone and have started most of their drives inside the 30. And Blue Valley has started at least 3 drives on the 50 or in.
They've started on the 48, the 30, the 24-22, and then the 35 and the 43. This is their first time starting inside the Blazer territory. 2:24 to go in the third quarter.
Boy,
as they're taking a lot of time.
For a Blue Valley team up.
Zimmerman's going to keep the ball, bounces off McDermott, breaks through a tackle, leans up ahead, still gets 3 yards on the carry.
One thing that I'm kind of curious about is it's quiet over here. We're on the Blue Valley side.
It's quiet.
They're up 27-6 in a must-win situation, and it's just
it's
quiet.
It's like, okay.
It's the darndest. It's the darndest. I mean, I guess from the Blazers standpoint, that's good.
Good, but it's just a weird mood.
Yeah.
1:48 to go in the third quarter. Zimmerman out to pass on the left side, intended for Skaggs, but falls incomplete.
Well,
so it's going to be 3rd and 6.
You do have to like the fact that they're throwing the football, and every incomplete pass is a time stops the clock, and it gives the Blazers at least a chance. Those nickel dime plays that they're running with Fulks up the middle, and then the quarterback keeps it for 4-3. That not only is that keeping the chain or the down and distance moving, but it's also keeping that clock moving.
Zimmerman looking to pass down the center. Wide open is Tristan Perkins. Hits him for the touchdown just like it was nothing. And there was a coverage breakup somewhere down in the middle. And now the Tigers lead 33-6.
They ran 4 wide that time, or they ran 3 wide. They were twins to the right. They were single wide to the left. They flared. They ran the 2 out receivers down on about 7-yard stop routes and broke them to the pylon. To the out of bounds marker. They took the inside receiver and ran him on a drag route, and then took Cooper, who was a tight end, and ran him right down the middle of the field. And then he got to the safety, Winkler, and then he broke that route off. And boy, Zimmerman hit him right in stride, and he just walked in the last 7 yards. And what a surprising score this is, 34-6, with 1:33 to go here in the third quarter, Ryan. All eyes for the Blazers now have to turn to the Pittsburgh game and find out and hope that Pittsburgh doesn't run away with that football game.
Yeah, just don't run away with it. One of the nice, proud sponsors of 810 Varsity Sports. If you've ever wanted to learn to fly or it's been a long life dream, now you can live that dream by learning to fly with Air Associates, and they can be one of the most exciting and rewarding challenges activities that you've ever experienced. You'll have the most fun that you've ever had. Their FAA certified flight instructors will take you through every step from first flight to solo to the freedom of your pilot's license in their modern Cessna aircraft. For special flight packages, make your training even more affordable. Visit their website at takeoffkc.com. 34-6, Blue Valley over Gardner-Edgerton as Johnson tees up the ball. He's set to kick the ball off right to left. Low line drive kick is going to be picked up and brought across the 25-yard line. Destin Williams with the running back.
Well, we're really in a quandary now, Ryan, on the Blazer sideline. Do we just start going to air Blazers? Because if you do, you just run the risk of if you can't move the ball,
if you can't move it and you can't stop them.
Yeah, that gets really ugly. However, is it the only chance you have to get back in the game, and is it a chance that it's worth taking, depending on what's going on, I suppose, over with the Pittsburgh.
Hobby right now, 1 for 9, -1 yard. and that was the Trayvon Wrench out in the flat. And now we're going to have a penalty, pushing it back 5 yards.
And what's ironic about that is you have last week's stats, I believe, Ryan, but I think at one point Jared was 11 out of 12 or
9 out of 11, 163 yards.
9 out of 11 for 163 yards and a touchdown just a week ago. So the inconsistency showing up here tonight.
I'll be back to pass for Seymour, overthrows him, and pass incomplete. It's going to be 2nd and 15. And it's not that, and he's throwing the ball out of the shotgun, so he's not like he's getting a whole lot of pressure, but he's just, all night he's been just a little off here, a little off there, and then when he does have it on key, he's, the receivers haven't caught it, and it's just the timing hasn't been there.
Yeah, I would agree. It's just one of those nights, just things aren't clicking very well out there.
Clock at 1:20, 2nd and 15 from the 23-yard line. Hobby hits Lang at the 30-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 5, but it's still going to be 3rd and 8.
Actually, they're going to give him a pretty good spot. He's comes across the 30. It's probably
3rd and 7. And now and you almost need to go into the 2-minute offense. You need to start calling a couple, 2 or 3 plays at a time.
And the trouble with that is I'm not sure this offense is built good enough to run a 2-minute offense down the field.
Hobby looking for Guessman on the slant as he went across underneath the double coverage, but the pass is going to be knocked away.
That ball kind of hung up a little bit as it was going across the middle, and the safety for Blue Valley really sat on that ball. I believe that was number 7, Chris Paulson, that broke that up. Not a big kid, 5'8", 138-pound junior, but boy, he really made a nice break on it. Come real close to intercepting that, driving on the ball and intercepting. He stepped right in front of Getzman, who was running a crossing pattern from the left side.
We'll get a score update here from Pittsburgh in a second as Justin Long with a nice bounce gets it down to the 32-yard line, up to 33. 2:20 to go in the third quarter. Score tied 21-21.
Well, it looks like the Blazers, fortunately, are still in good shape. On that
front. Come on, Saints! Come on, Saints!
March on, Saints!
Oh, when the Saints come on! Oh, I didn't. Oh, I didn't karaoke last week.
You did?
Wally just writes it down, and I still can't repeat it. Thanks, Wally. I was going to mention overtime at Wally's with the $4.99 burger baskets. Make sure you try the BBN burger, but I won't do that right now after that. Wow. 32 seconds to go in the third quarter. Folks with the ball, makes a cut left, right. He's going to be brought down at the 49-yard line, but it's going to be another Tiger first down, and right now, the Tigers are just having their way.
Justin Falk's doing his best Trayvon Wrench imitation.
I thought he was going to go vertical, but now he's cutting.
Man, he has got the cut and the juke back in his game a little bit, and he is looking really, really well rested, and that ankle doesn't look to be bothering him at all right now.
Not as much as you would have thought. So the game clock is at 10 seconds, and that's probably going to be the last play of the third quarter, and that's what's going to be. We're going to take a timeout, and we will be back with the start of the fourth quarter. It's a blowout, folks. 34-6, Blue Valley over Gardner. We'll be back with the fourth quarter. You're listening to the Blazer Broadcast Network on 810 Varsity Sports.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Wally's Neighborhood Grill. Make sure and try Wally's breakfast menu every day from 8 till 1. Wally's Neighborhood Grill, 808 East Main in Gardner.
Golden Goose Floral. For the best floral arrangements in town, call Marty at 865-8400.
Big O Tires, where every new tire comes with a lifetime warranty. See Les, Jeremy, or Tim about your next set of tires. 331 East Main in Gardner, across from Golden Goose Floral.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Brian Ragland, Dave Webb, back with you here at the Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed broadcast booth with Dustin Duck Martin down on the sideline. Wally and Darren with the stats. Okay, I'll go ahead and mention it. Wally's Overtime after the game, $4.99 burger baskets. And you said that you're putting the BBN burger on the menu? Wow. Did you hear that, Dave? It's official from the man. We get to have our little logo right beside the burger. No?
There almost
come on.
There almost ought to be a ribbon cutting ceremony.
Exactly. Come on. Have the nice little logo right there. You know, that's... Jeez. I'm bringing him business, and he won't even put the logo on the menu, for God's sakes. So 1st and 10, Zimmerman hands the ball off to McLaren, kind of the Tiger version of the Jet, and McLaren gets it all the way down to the 45-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and about 3.
Now, Ryan, can you put into context Blue Valley's scenario for getting into the playoffs?
They win, they're in. They win, they're in. Because even if Pittsburgh would have won,
they don't have to win.
Well,
by
it depends.
Points.
They could win, but if they play St. Thomas,
if
Pittsburgh wins, they have to win by 6 more points than what Blue Valley does.
Okay. So Blue Valley,
and that would be a tie.
Paris.
So they would have to win by 6. For the simple fact that Pittsburgh will get the head-to-head tiebreaker.
Okay. So they've certainly got that well in hand on their end then.
Yeah, they're pretty much solidified. So 3rd and 2, Zimmerman pump fakes. He's going to keep it. He's going to run across the 40-yard line. He's going to be in for another Tiger first down, and Zimmerman is doing it with his arm and with his legs tonight.
Well, they've really played very error-free on the offensive side of the football. Nothing flashy necessarily, with the exception of the run. The 4th down pass in the first quarter was a beautiful play by Zimmerman as he threw and hit, I believe, who was that first touchdown pass to for Rickenmeyer. And that was a really nice play. And then, of course, a long run by Folks.
As Folks is not going to get anywhere on this play, as we're going to have a loss on the play.
Blue Valley's done that to themselves a couple of times here. Thankfully for the Blazers, they've really shot themselves in the foot on a couple of first down plays that have made it very difficult for them to stay on track with their down and distance. Now they bring up 2nd down and about 13.
We'll go down to Duck here in a second and get a volleyball update. Zimmerman looking down to the right side. He's going to keep it himself. He's going to be down at about the 36-yard line. And just looking at that, the way Zimmerman does, he sounds like he's going to pass it very well, and then he just picks it up and goes.
But he's intent on trying to throw it. He's looking down the field. That was a tremendous coverage by the Blazers secondary there, as they had all 4 verts covered, vertical routes by the Tigers, and Zimmerman was wanting to pull the trigger, and he just couldn't. And I tell you right there, that was a great example of missing Dalton Kirk, because Dalton had gotten really good at coming off of blocks and really running down those quarterbacks when they started to take off, and we just haven't had anybody on the front able to do that tonight.
Zimmerman hits Folks out in the flat, step on McDermott, gets around the corner, brought down by Justin Long. And he left McDermott.
He caught the flare pass out.
As Jim Rome would say, he put his legs on backwards. That's pretty much what happened.
He did the little flare swing pass out here to the right side, and nothing more than just a little toss sweep out of the pistol. Zimmerman takes the long snap, and Folks flares to the right side. He just turns and throws it out there about 7-8 yards. And puts him in a one-on-one situation with the outside linebacker, or the inside linebacker. That time it was Jared McDermott, and boy, did he put a move on Jared, just left him there.
Here's that beef set. Zimmerman on 4th and 1. Bad snap, couldn't get it. Justin Long comes in, as this time the 3rd time was a charm for the Blazers, stopping that beef package.
Right when I say error-free, that time they just botch a 4th down play, and Long snapped it in the pistol to Zimmerman. He just drops the ball and can't pick it up enough to get a first down. So another break for the Blazer defense there.
Right now the Blazers just being down by 28 points. They need 2 touchdowns just to have a chance to cut the lead down for the points-wise. 8:19 to go in the game, 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Hobby looking off the left side, out in a flat route by Gessman on a little curl. Pass complete, his first completion of the night for Hobby.
Well, Jared really is trying to get rid of that ball in a hurry. It doesn't look like he can get it from the long snap with his hand on the seams the way he wants it, and then thrown quite as quick as he would like or is trying to. It just doesn't look like he's very comfortable when he's throwing the football tonight.
He doesn't have the stroke that he had last week against St. Thomas. 6 yards on the completion, 2nd and 4 from the 39-yard line. Clock stopped at 8:14. Low snap, get the ball to Wrench, and he fumbles it. A fight for the ball. Hobby can't get it picked up. Ball's picked up by Cole Foster, and he's going to take it in for the touchdown. That was a broken play from the beginning off the low snap.
They tried to do the long snap, shotgun formation, and then Jared started rolling out to his left, and then it was a little underneath handoff going to go to Trayvon, going back, countering back to the right, and when he tried to hand off to Trey, Blue Valley had a big rush on and was in the backfield, but the handoff hit Trey up, looked like a little bit high on the numbers, dropped and hit the floor or the ground, and then just started rolling around. The Blazers had a couple of guys try to get on it, but including Jared, but the ball just squirted back out. And
would you say that this game is worse than the Bishop Miege game?
Well, you know, that's interesting you said that, because I was just thinking about that as Cole Foster ran that in for the touchdown. I was thinking, you know, it's been a long time that the Blazer offense has been, oh, God, is that Marcus Williams? Marcus Williams again blocks
just all
the
over the
extra
place.
point. And we haven't heard a lot from Marcus tonight on the defensive end with regard to
We haven't heard a lot from anybody on the defensive end.
Well, with the exception of, from making pass, rushing the passer, but I still contend and would submit, and so will Coach Diener, that the run defense hasn't been that bad tonight. First half, it was just absolutely exceptional. Second half, folks got loose a couple of times, but the passing game has really hurt the Blazers tonight.
They go 4 plays, 65 yards. They get a field goal, gets blocked. Then they go 3 plays and 45 yards.
Well, Ryan, you had noted something about Bishop Miege, and I know the night we played Bishop Miege, we were kind of speechless that night. It was 34-0, and we were thinking, boy, it has been a long time since the Blazers have been held to, and I think it was under 250 yards offense that night, maybe more than that. I don't have those stats in front of me, but
we should have an offsides, but we're not going to get it called, as this one's going to go back into the end zone. 8:02 to go, and I'll tell you, total domination of Blue Valley. And, you know, like Coach Diener talked about, you wake a sleeping dog that has the bark and the bite, you know, bad things can happen. And they're making sure the statement's made.
There was a little question about, did they have, you know, bark and a bite, and because
the bark is loud and the bite hurts.
The bite was there tonight. There's no question about that. 40-6, and this score is going to just rumble throughout the state.
Not much on that play.
Well, they're not getting anybody blocked
No.
right now up front. You just see a lot of white jerseys standing around as the Tigers are just all over the backfield, just swarming.
Well, and you take a look. They've been stacking 7-8 guys in the box too.
Yeah, that's true.
And Coach Diener, you know, he's a master at scheme blocking and getting to that second level and getting guys blocked and everything, but they're just not able to do it right now. I'll be looking off the left side, pass to Gessman, complete. Knocked out of bounds by McLaren.
Jared Hobby's pass was complete to number 19, Ryan Gessman.
This game tonight is showing you the difference, probably as much as any game that we've had all year, of the disparity in arm strength from what we were used to, and now the number 4 draft pick in the major leagues, Bubba Starling's arm, compared to Jared's, and that's certainly not a slam on Jared by any means. But
he's just, you know, he's been
what
a sophomore.
What a weapon
Yeah.
it was to have such a such an arm.
Wrench tries to get to the outside behind Mio Gray. And Wrench tried to cut it inside. It just didn't work.
It's a pretty hopeless situation when you're the offensive coordinator and you just cannot get. You're just poking and probing and searching for answers, and it just nothing you call, nothing you scheme up works, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 3 because of.
Well, let's see. In the last
tackle
on the possessions for the Blazers, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, fumble return for touchdown, and 3 and out. That's not very good production. Another great punt by Long, as this one's going to bounce at the 25-yard line. So the clock stops at 6:25.
That's almost a 50-yard punt, I think.
That'll take that every time. So Blue Valley season will continue as they will host probably, we don't have any other scores, but we'll get the bracket figured out for tomorrow morning for the coaches show at 9 o'clock. Don't have a score update from St. Thomas. Hopefully we get one here pretty soon.
That's kind of important right now.
That's very important. That would be ultra important. So we'll hopefully get an update here pretty quickly. Zimmerman fakes the handoff, gets the ball off to Reckenmeyer off to the left side.
Mr. Hitchcock not getting us a text.
Well, I think Hitchcock might have written my number down wrong because I haven't been getting one from him. I've been getting one from Rob Pacheco. Duck on the sideline real quick, update on the volleyball game.
Okay, I didn't know if you knew I was still here or not.
Oh, are you here?
Yeah.
Are you
freezing,
cold? Are you cold?
Yeah, it'd be cool.
They have these things called coats.
Yeah,
they work out pretty well.
If you quiet long enough. Gee, I mean, Christmas, Dave, I don't know how you do it.
I control the volume level.
Yeah.
See, I can do that, and you're down and back up.
Come on now.
Go ahead.
Hey, okay, so good news for Blazer fans out there tonight. The Gardner girls volleyball team moving on.
Awesome.
Just won both sets against Blue Valley North, so it looks like they're going to play Olathe East here in about an hour. Both teams are 2-0, and both are guaranteed to make finals.
Awesome.
Nice.
How about that?
Good job to those girls.
Well,
nice.
Congratulations to the girls. So, Duck, when you say both teams guaranteed to make finals, that means they'll be in tomorrow's pool or 4-team tournament action?
Yes, yeah.
So this would be...
That is so sweet.
Yeah, so no matter what happens, they're both...
This match here puts them against Olathe East would be a seeding match for the 4.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Hey,
I just want to clarify.
What do we got football-wise? Anything?
No.
Well, we're trying to get a
hoping to get some here pretty soon
on this Pittsburgh Aquinas game. It was 21-21 the last we heard.
Folks with the ball to the right side. He's going to be brought down by Goldsmith.
You got to wonder how much longer they'll leave Folks in. With
I wouldn't be leaving him in too much longer.
And up 40-6. Got the game pretty well.
Well, it's 2:20 in the third. I'll text Rob and see if he can get me another update. In fact, we will we'll see what we can get with the A10 varsity scoreboard and see if they have it updated. Right now, just updated, scroll down. As Folks gets to the outside, brought down by Marcus Williams from behind.
What a play by Marcus Williams. It was a zone read. Folks jumps to the outside, makes a nice little cut, bounces outside, and Marcus Williams runs him down and really makes a nice play. Marcus Williams certainly as athletic a player as there is on the football field tonight, and that's regarding both teams.
Right now, the only score we have is still 21-21. And that game in the 4th. So we'll see if Rob can get us an updated score. 3:47 to go in the game. Blue Valley up 40-6.
Well, you know that game in Pittsburgh's got to be moving along
pretty quickly.
Yeah, as quickly as this one.
As
so
those two teams like to run.
As it's got to be getting close to the end of the of their game as well. So if Aquinas Pittsburgh happens to win by a touchdown, 28-21, the Blazers are in.
Yep, Blazers are in.
Pittsburgh wins by 10 points, Blazers are in.
Blazers are in.
Pittsburgh wins by 13 points.
Blazers are out.
Come on, Saints defense.
Come on. And I'm still wearing my blue.
And they're hanging in there right now. 21-21 the last
update we've had.
You'd have to think that'd be a big
Zimmerman
swing.
loses his handle on it as he tried. I think he was trying to hold on to it kind of midstream, and it slipped out of his hand. And that's probably about the only bad thing that Zimmerman's done tonight, because he has just been exceptional tonight.
He really has, and he's lived up to the hype. Certainly, I don't know that he's played as well as he played in last year's semifinal championship game, but certainly has done a yeoman's job tonight. He's 18 out of 25 for nearly 200 yards passing, and he's got 3 touchdowns rushing, and he's rushed for a total of 43. So he's put together a 250-yard total offense night with 3 touchdowns. That's not bad.
As this ball gets down at the 35-yard line, 2:39 to go in the game. Right now, the only thing the Blazers want to do, they want to get some kind of rhythm. They want to get something going and get something working, because there's a good chance, well, in this scenario, they will be on the side of Bishop Miege for bracket-wise. And it would be on, we'll have to check and see. I'm not sure if they would meet him, or if they met him, it would be in the second round.
Little change in scenery behind Jared Hobby. That was Tim Seymour playing the tailback position now. Tries to take it up the middle.
Robichico, STA just thrown a pick, still tied 21-21. Pittsburgh has the ball. And we'll see if we can get the time left in that game. Power right set, Seymour in the backfield. Hobby 3-step drop trying to get Getzman. Getzman got turned a little bit too late as this one falls incomplete.
Boy, the timing's just not been good,
not
as
there.
you alluded to earlier. It's just not been, either the ball's there too early, such as that play there. Jared goes back, 3-step drop, zings one out. Nice looking pass that time, but the receiver wasn't out there in time. So just the timing just hasn't been good.
The good news out of this, Blazers will probably be in, crossing fingers, hopefully. Come on, St. Thomas. You start the record book clean. But the fact remains, now you're in the playoffs. The playoffs, the Blazers may get a little bit of a break as a pass completed to Jermaine Lang. As Coach Diener talked about, playoffs start tonight. But with the loss, they're still in. Okay, you're in the playoffs. You need to do something this first round, and you're going to be on the road. So you have to figure something out, and you're going to have to figure it out quick.
Well, I think the other thing that I take from this is there's really only 2 teams. I think there are 2 teams on the east side that are barriers to the Blazers, and it's this team obviously tonight, the Blue Valley Tigers, and it's also Bishop Miege.
Yeah.
But everybody else in this postseason playoff run will be very, very beatable for Blazers. So they'll have to go back to work, obviously, after tonight. And they'll have to try to pick up the pieces and be interested to see who they're going to be playing in the bracket as the playoffs or after the brackets unfold.
We'll figure out in the morning. Of course, Coach Diener is going to have it for us in the morning.
The main thing's getting into the playoffs, and so it looks like because of Pittsburgh and St. Thomas's score, it looks like the Blazers are secure there. But
there's a pass going for Drake Sparks in double coverage, and I'm kind of surprised they didn't get Connor Knorr or Max Knorr with holding, as he was late coming off the block and had a handful of black jerseys. I didn't catch who it was, but the Blazers caught a break on that one. Stops the clock at 56 seconds in the game. So we'll have to see what we can get on a score update here pretty soon. 3:18 to go in the game at Blue Valley, as here's a 3rd and 10. Or 2nd and 10. Pass falls incomplete.
Jared was just throwing that up. He's just got to get the ball down the field. There's 50 seconds to go in the game, and he just took a shot. They lined up trips to the left, and Getzman lined up wide left. He just ran a go route right down the numbers, and Jared just threw it up about as far as he could throw it. Going to let Mr. Getzman just go up and try to play jump ball.
And the ball off to Seymour. He runs in the middle, doesn't get anywhere. And it looks like they're probably just going to run the clock out. With the play clock or the game clock at 33 seconds. So we're going to have one more play, and that's going to be the final play of the game. With the Blazers falling to Blue Valley by a score of 40-6. As they will, or check that they reset it. So that was the last play of the game. Congratulations to Blue Valley, District 4 champs, as they defeat the Blazers by a score of 40-6. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be back with the America's Computer postgame show. You're listening to the Blazer Broadcast Network on 810 Varsity Sports.
In Gardner, the only place you need to know for all of your computer needs is America's Computers. John Alverson is one of the best you're going to find anywhere. Whether it's for your laptop or PC, John will take care of it. John can help you with repairs, tune-ups, and spyware to keep your computer running the best it can. Busy schedule and can't make it in? John even makes house calls. Now tell me, where are you going to find a computer shop that does that? So when your computer is acting up, running slow, or even if you have a question, call John Alverson at America's Computers at 1835 East Santa Fe, just west of the Super 8. Give John a call at 856-6789. That's 856-6789. America's Computers.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Hickman Heating and Air, servicing and repairing all brands of heating and air conditioning equipment. Give Don a call at 856